some trading. Let's talk some action with Mr. Scott Bauer, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. 18 minutes till the bell here. We're going to talk some commodities as we usually do, Scott, but let's do a little trip back into the time machine because you kind of nailed it with your TSM trade yesterday. Tell me how you handled that pop.
You know what? I sold it all out in the opening of the market today, and it went a little bit higher. The stock did. The spread went a little bit higher, but after getting 250% return or so for a trade that was on for less than a day, you know what? It hit my target. It exceeded my target, and I was out. Going back in time, though, looking at this particular setup, Oliver, and I do that with winners, do it with losers, just so you can learn from it. I really felt, looking at the technicals, like this thing was going to break out to new highs. It had stalled for a while there. And given what the market was pricing in with the expected move, that's why I chose the strikes that I did. And, fortunately, they came out with some really good guidance here. And, my whole belief in that was that they were going to say that the ASML, debacle earlier in the week wasn't really going to inhibit them. So it was a great setup. It was a great trade, and we're out.
Yeah, kudos. And you also were right to put it on the specific stock and not try to play like a secondary impact on. I mean, NVIDIA had a nice day. Chips okay, but the market kind of struggled. What do you think about the lack of knock-on effect for the broad market here?
Yeah, what Kevin said was really interesting as well. And I think we're in kind of a complacency market right now. I was surprised that we didn't see the follow through because of Taiwan Semi in some of the other chip stocks. Yeah, I know NVIDIA made new all-time highs. I would have thought that would have accounted for, the NASDAQ really holding those gains today. So I was a little bit surprised, but I'm not all too worried.
Okay. All right, looking elsewhere today, we got a little bit of a fade in some of the strong points from yesterday. BTC slowing down a little bit, gold kind of muted. Overall, the move in yields, the sell-off in bonds kind of seems like the highlight. What'd you make of some of the macro action, Scott?
Oh, for sure. And, I don't like seeing these big intraday moves. To see the 10-year going up 10 basis points in one day, that is unbelievable. And yes, it's on the heels of the retail sales report that came out this morning is showing that, the consumer is still pretty strong here. And, the weekly employment numbers, they were lower than expected, but that didn't, to me, really play into the fact that we should have seen that 10-year rise as fast as it did. So that's really one of the reasons why you're seeing Bitcoin take the rest and gold. And I don't want to see that volatility continue. And we have seen that excess volatility in the treasury markets and not so much in the equity markets.
The thing about gold, at least, is small moves at this level still equate to highs. I mean, it's like this thing is unbeatable. I guess the gold bugs just get to run victory laps on all of us.
We'll see what happens after the election, quite frankly. And if any of the overhanging risk, if you will, to the market, if that subsides a little bit, that's only, 2-3 weeks away. But, that chart on gold still is very, very bullish. And like you and I have discussed for quite a while now, I've been a buyer on any dip. I don't want to buy into a rally, but it's been certainly the course to take, buying on any dip.
Yeah, it's one of the most reliable charts out there right now.
It sure is.
Back to the coin for a sec. We kind of tried to get out of that channel to the downside. Now we're kind of hovering on it. And what are the chances it uses that as a springboard?
I think it's actually healthy that, we're kind of hovering now. And just because, we're seeing rates really spike up here, that we're not seeing a big pullback. I think that is really good for Bitcoin here. Let's see what happens again with the election, because that, to me, there could be some of that built in depending on who wins here, and what the perception is, friendly or not friendly to cryptocurrency. So I'd like to see for the bulls here, moderate a little bit. Maybe we pull back a little. I don't want to see us break 65 because that would mean to me that this bullish trend is probably over.
Okay. A good analysis. Thanks, Scott. Nice trade on TSM.